not good. And these monks as well, they're gonna join in. Oh no, don't lose all the monks! Oh, it's gonna lose 2. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Games of the Week. I pushed it up this week because, once again, it's just scheduling different things. So this is a little bit of a unexpected, a quick Games of the Week, little preparation. But these games should be very good. Someone recommended me this game. In fact, Joshua recommended me this game, who casted with me last week. This is a matchup between Spring and Daniel, around 2K3 level players. In the left side of the map, we have Spring playing as the Chinese. And in red, we have Daniel playing as the Goths. And of course, I had to cast this matchup because it's the Goths, my favorite civilization, which we don't see too often. I will have to get going in not too long, so I'm going to put the speed all the way up to 64 speed. No one complained last time I did this, and I enjoyed casting at this speed, and I need to save the time anyway, so hope you guys don't mind. So this is going to be Daniel playing as the Goths. Civ we don't see very often, but yeah, it could be certainly very strong. I think Chinese actually are one of the, according to like the guy that does all the stats on the civilizations, there's like an app. If you go Age of Empires Civilizations, you type that into Google, there's like a whole database of what civilizations have the best win rates against others. I believe Goths have a very good, a decent win rate against the Chinese, although I'm not sure if that includes other maps other than Arabia. However, they shouldn't be the worst in this situation. I know that the Huskarl can certainly do a lot of damage versus the Chinese. Chinese lack some heavy cavalry as well. But the Chinese, that said, are one of the more formidable Arabia civilizations. Oh, Joshua, you're pointing that out. Just as I said that. I wasn't reading the chat at all below your screen. Oh, man. Yeah, we're thinking along the same lines here. And Spring, since we talked about the Goths, let's talk a little bit about the Chinese. They have a great early game economy. They usually are up a villager. As you can see, they're up a villager right now. Although they start with less resources, they gain that back over time as they have that extra villager. Their technologies are cheaper, their farms have extra food, so their economy is really great. And they have a very diverse tech tree. In fact, I think they're like the most diverse tech tree in the game. Or at least functionally. They can go cavalry, they can go archers, they can even transition to champions if they want, because it'll be so cheap. Let's take a look at the maps. The maps are a little bit unusual for Arabia, as the players are right next to each other. Usually a player, say if the blue player spawns here, the red player would spawn here. But nope, red is right next to each other. And the golds and stone, very close, spawn towards Spring. Spring's gold has spawned towards Daniel. Daniel is going to lose a little bit of HP on his scout, but not too much. So this looks to be a very aggressive map that can favor scouts from Spring, but that can also favor men-at-arms from Daniel. Remember, the Goths only get their men-at-arms discount once they're in the feudal age. Although that doesn't always deter the Goths from going a Dark Age rush. So I fully expect to see men-at-arms from Daniel in this very aggressive matchup. Spring is going to try to wall here. Do yourself some favors with your walling. Same thing with Daniel. He's going to try to wall the front of his base just a little bit. Eventually they'll finish this off in the feudal age. And a lot on food for Daniel. We have 5 woodcutters on the bottom. Same thing, 5 woodcutters for Spring. Again, a lot on food. It looks like perhaps Spring was trying to lure these zebra, and Daniel's going to be annoying and try to push them away. Certainly you want that extra food if you're going to go for a scout rush like the Chinese are. And the Chinese are pretty much forced into a scout rush in a lot of occasions, because they can't actually go men-at-arms. Something to do with them not having as much food just leads them to never go men-at-arms. Who knows, maybe Spring will break the meta. Going to go with the barracks now? Probably not. I don't see him taking gold right now. And here's that little scout fight. Remember, Daniel losing a little bit of HP to the town center. Daniel going to take some of these zebra. I'm wondering if these villagers are actually going to go forward or they're just there to take the zebra. I think Goths hunters carry 15 more food, so I don't mind this at all. And Daniel's going to go for a men-at-arms rush. Very typical. He doesn't get the discount on those militias, but he wants them out quickly to do aggression. That's the whole idea. Hey, welcome Shirazini. Welcome to the stream. Alright, so Spring's going to gear up for a scout rush. As long as he doesn't take too much damage from the men-at-arms, he should be good. And what would be even greater is if he could do like a quick wall right there, so that way the spearmen, which should be coming out from Daniel, will take longer to catch up with the group. Eventually, scouts can pick off these men-at-arms before they do any damage. Nice quick walls by Spring. Doesn't want to take damage from those men-at-arms. Looks like Spring was able to get at least one of those zebras, if not two. And now it's going to start with his farms. After horse collar's done, preferably... Yeah, gonna wait a little bit. I hate this. Alright, now you can see the farms. Go ahead, Spring, see the farms. There you go. But now those farms have horse collar and the Chinese extra 45 food. So far, Spring's doing okay. Daniel has not come forward with his villagers to build a tower. That's sometimes something you see with men-at-arms rushes. Does it make that much sense? Probably not. Actually, it can. I think it makes some sense. I think it makes a lot of sense, actually. But Daniel has chosen not to do that. The reason I say that, you can place a tower here and take away farms and a gold. If that's not successful, you can take out the stable. And if that's not successful, you can go down to the bottom and take out the wood. So a lot of possibilities with towers, however, we just didn't see that from Daniel. Instead, Daniel is going to go for an early archer range. And he's already got a few archers popping out. That spearman's going to go with the men-at-arms, making that combination a lot stronger. However, Spring has moved out, and he is going to look for some villagers to kill. Can possibly get one on the berries. There's no spearmen in this area. That's a mistake from Daniel. However, Spring doesn't look to be blocking off that villager. Will he get it anyway? He just needed one more hit. He should have gone for it. That's a mistake from Spring. Spring has typically very good scout micro. Huns is his favorite civ. He's actually going to get it right now. Was that the same villager? I think it was. Nice play. Nice play from Spring. Picking off a villager. Could even get that one if he's lucky. No, he's going to attack the wrong one. Going to go back. So one scout for one villager. That's a good trade. This stable getting nice and low. Sometimes you might want to take this into consideration. Build your stable a little closer to town center if your opponent's going to go men-at-arms rush with a great civ like the Goths. Goths as well get +1 attack versus buildings on all their infantry. Another reason to build the stable a little closer to the town center. I'm going to go with the archer range now. Spring's got a good food eco, but he hasn't gone with the early range because of that. You want to invest that wood into food. That wood into farms. Spring's still going to run around in the back of the base. Now we have a few archers for Daniel. This was a very quick archer transition. And it's putting on a lot of pressure. That stable 100% will go down. So Spring is not going to be able to build any more scouts. He's not going to be able to build knights unless he wants to build another stable. Daniel only now getting horse color. That's not the best thing. He must have invested quite a bit to get that archer range up very quickly. Chosen to get that up over the horse collar upgrade, unless, of course, he just forgot to make the upgrade. But at this level, you kind of assume a lot of these things are conscious decisions as opposed to unconscious mistakes. A lot of scouts for Spring. I bet he wishes he had a stable because one more scout or the Bloodlines upgrade might, change things around. Right now, I think this will be a close fight as far as resources are concerned. But now we have the skirmishers in the mix. They can take out that spearman. That's the most important thing. And they're going to pick off 2 archers right away. 3 archers. Slow reaction from Dano. Going to lose all 3 archers right away. Going to pick off that spearman very quickly. Now that archer's down, and this is a great trade for Spring. This brings him right back. I don't want to say he was behind in the game, but this might put him a little bit ahead. Those men-at-arms sure did get a lot of value out of them, but Daniel not able to make his way around with those archers and actually get to the wood line. Maybe he was playing a little bit too aggressive. He didn't have a really big advantage over Spring as far as military was concerned. Sure, he took out the stable, but that stable created most of the scouts. You kind of have to assume if you're going to walk around here, your opponent's going to have enough army to defend, so maybe you want to stay more towards the front of the base where you won't be able to get caught out like that. Regardless, Spring has put a tower up on his gold. He's going to take that main gold. His other gold is in the back. It was being harassed by those archers a little earlier on. So now Daniel's not in a great position. He's actually transitioned into scouts himself. Great play, because he's under a lot of pressure. He needs something to deal with these skirmishers. And sure, you could go men-at-arms, but come on, man. This is 2019. Why would you do that? So those scouts going to do a lot of damage to the scouts of Spring. The Goths as well have a pretty diverse tech tree, but since they don't have an economy bonus to back it up, you don't really see it too often. The scouts is certainly very viable. Let's see who wins this. Losing a lot of archers. Now the scouts are going to go down. Single spearman from Spring. Going to do a lot right there. And Daniel is really far behind as far as military count. If he could wall himself right here, that will buy him some time. This wood line is going to be pretty bad in the north. Looks like this wood line... Oh, it's already bad. That's why I didn't want to build a second one. Yeah, KOTD2. Arabia isn't kind to walling, it seems. Yeah. Oh, boy. That was the idea. It was a great tournament, and I certainly loved all the maps from it. Quick Castle Age from Spring. This is a very bad position for Daniel. He's going to lose a lot of villagers in the coming minutes. Coming minute. If he doesn't do something right now. I pull the villagers and start attacking. The skirmishers can't do a lot of damage to the villagers. So as long as you can take out a scout or two. That scout's low. This scout's going to go down. Don't lose all of your archers, Daniel. Try your best to defend. Spring is in such a commanding position. Transitioning to knights, getting scale barding armor, bloodlines. I think that Daniel's going to clean this up for now, but he's losing a lot. And once these knights come in, it's going to be hell. As Daniel's going to have to hit the gas on spearman production. Anyway, all these skirmishers should go down to a few scouts, but we're going to have to see some walls from Daniel. We're going to have to see some great micros, some quick walling. We're going to have to see some spearmen and critical positions for the next few minutes because Spring is going to come with knights. And where is Daniel on to going to the next age? He's nowhere near it. This is why the Goths have such a hard time against a lot of civs. They don't have an eco bonus early game, and they fell behind. The Chinese, just that early eco bonus really is such a great thing. Where can you see the win rate versus the civs? Perhaps someone in the chat could give it to you. If you Google like civ win rates, maybe you can find it. But it's like I can't remember the name of the website exactly. There you go. KC Arian's got you covered. Thank you. Appreciate it. And that site is still gathering more data. I think we need a bigger sample size. I think we need some more in-depth statistics about how civs do on particular maps or in team game settings versus one. But it's a very nice tool, and I hope that the developers for AOE2DE, for HD, balance patches really look at those win rates and dissect it and say, where can we make these civilizations have a better chance on all maps? And as well, just... Every civ has a strength already, if not, but they could use it for balance purposes. The Scorpions is an interesting decision. So the Scorpions not only counters the archers, but also the spearmen, so I like the decision. It's not very good against buildings, however. So I think a ram would do a lot of good. Of course, the Chinese do get rocketry, so they do get above average Scorpions, but that's only in late game. Another stable for Daniel, so he's going to go knights into knights. This certainly favors the Chinese because they do get the camel unit. And interestingly, Daniel has not had to build that many spearmen. I guess these walls just held for the time being. For some reason, Spring not wanting to walk around this wood line. But either way, Daniel's economy is being hurt. That's a lot of idle farmers. That whole wood line was idle, of course. This bottom wood line is a mess. Gold saturation, you can only get so much gold on that gold mine. And we have the pikemen upgrade coming in, but there's 4 scorpions there. Pikemen are not going to want to run into anywhere near that. Going to release 2 knights. This knight is not going to get the scorpion. This knight is going to get a scorpion. Looks like the archers will probably target down the scorpion first. No crossbow upgrade yet. That's very notable. And this could be the GG push. I was told this was a good game, and it looks like Spring is probably just going to destroy Daniel right here. Or is he? Looks like the pikemen are going to do enough. There's no more scorpions in this combination. Although the knights are very strong. They have +2 armor. I think if you're Daniel, try to wall this up as quick as you can and gear up for the next wave. And Spring is adding another wave. He's still adding knights. You see Daniel adding more pikemen. He's getting squires upgraded now. Has a monk. That could certainly be a game changer. Yeah, certainly crossbow is a very cheap upgrade and it's very worth it. Canero, I'm not convinced. Back at Spring Space, Spring has not added an extra town center. He likes the one town center place. Although he has Walt's map. Oh, he has added another town center. So Spring is in a pretty commanding position still. Looks like he's 5 villagers ahead. Probably will go 10 villagers ahead by the time this town center is built. Oh, but we do have another town center in the back. This is nice. Nice play from Daniel, sneaking a town center in the back. That'll be great for farms and a ton of wood. So no more wood problems for Daniel. So that resource is secured. His gold is another story. He's going to have to expand out to this gold or this gold. We have a town center for Spring. Wow. I like it. You don't have enough stone for a castle, but you want to place a town center here. This is great map control by Spring. Daniel's going to have to get another gold fairly shortly. He's mining out this gold. The saturation's already pretty bad, so Daniel's going to have to move down to that gold. And that's a ton of knights. Looks like one knight was converted. No. That's actually Daniel's knight. You can check by the upgrades. And it looks like Spring took his foot off the gas as far as Scorpion production is concerned. The no more pushing power. I think a ram, just one ram to clear out these buildings, that's a lot of resources that Daniel could have lost in just simply houses. And as well, give himself a little bit more mobility with his knights. Daniel's going to try to raid a bit, but Spring was smart. He added a lot of walls. Although he is still open here, and there's no units to defend, I think 3 or 4 camels should be able to do. Let's see if Daniel can even up this villager number. He's about 6 or 7 villagers behind. It looks like he'll come back with a nice raid. However, Spring is solidifying his position, and this is such an excellent castle. Is Daniel going to try to deny this? This castle's already halfway up. There's no way you can deny it. I mean, the Megano maybe. Yeah, tower's coming up. Daniel's going to try to deny it, but it's already too late. Or is it? I mean, if that Megano could get, like, one shot. It's going to get one shot. Okay, but there's some villagers in the town center, so castle's going to get out. It was a nice try. Not enough commitment from Daniel, not enough military, and now he's going to lose a lot of units, actually, on the way back. That's not good. And these monks as well, they're going to join in. Oh, no, don't lose all the monks. Oh, he's going to lose 2. Going to lose 3 on the last second. That was a big loss for Daniel. The villager number has evened itself out quite a bit, but look at this position for Spring. Spring has both of Daniel's golds. Is there another gold I'm missing? Daniel's going to move up to the top gold. If he can put a town center on that, then he can survive for the time being. If not, then he's not going to survive too long. I think he can still mine that gold. It's not within range of the castle. Not looking so good. Still no rams. I would like to see just one Mangonel or a ram just to pressure these town centers. And TC made me laugh so hard. It's a great town center. It's a really good one. Is this live? No, these are recordings. These are games of the week. This is from last week. This is a game that was given to me by Joshua, who's in the chat, by the name of the one that you can't pronounce. Town center for Daniel. Excellent town center in the north. No more gold to be had for Daniel. There's no more gold on the map. On his side of the map, that doesn't include these golds. And another castle for Spring. Spring could transition to Chucko Nu. I don't know if I'd recommend that against the Goths. I think you could do definitely do a Chucko Nu and Knight composition. And Daniel's actually going to go pretty much for an all-in push. I don't like ever... that's an overstatement, but I don't like going to the Imperial Ages Goths, so if you're Daniel, just go ahead and put every single resource you have into Knights and Pikemen and Rams and see what you can do. I don't like the Imperial Age for the Goths so much because I don't think you get so much out of it. Look at that plate mail armor. But this is going to be a great push from Daniel. I think a mistake could come from Spring if he's planning to go to the Imperial Age. And he's not. He's got 500 gold. I think if you're Spring, just continue full Castle Age right now. This isn't HD. Oh god. Who asked if this was HD? Alright, so good positioning from Spring. He needs to defend for now from Daniel's push. Daniel's adding a barracks. He's adding another town center to the stone. That's great. He could sell that stone if he needs, or he can get that castle up. Looks like he's going to want a castle, as he's not taking stone anymore from that stone pile because it's covered by the castle. Quick walls, are they going to be in time? Looks like it. Gonna save some villagers. And Spring's got to add some more. Actually, he's got to have something to deal with the pikemen. That's pretty bad, because the scorpions are so slow, they can't come back. Ooh. Maybe Spring's going to want to add some elite skirmisher, or Gonna have something. Oh, he's got the Chuckanu. What am I talking about? All right, now Daniel's the one who's doing the pushing. He's down 20 villagers, so he needs to have a big push. Look at these 3 castles from Spring. I think 3 castles might have been a bit much, especially since none of them are defending his own base. I actually think 1 castle is enough to lock down this area. The second castle is good. It locks down the stone. And the third castle's not bad. It takes the stone as well. So these castles are reasonable, but none of them defend the base. I would like to see some stone walls, but that hasn't happened. Looks like Daniel's doing some good damage to Spring. He's going to pick off a few more villagers in the back, as the Chuckanus are too slow to catch up. Camel's not going to be able to do too much against those pike. Please don't take that fight. Please don't. Oh, God. I'm going to lose all the camels for free. That was a terrible fight. Spring. Now another castle. Okay, this will shut down any aggression in this area. And the sad thing is Daniel could probably kill all of these villagers if he's paying attention, which he's not. That town center is going to go down. And the economies are more or less even. We have a lot of idle villagers for Spring. We've had a lot of idle villagers for at least the last 5 minutes. Let's see how these Chuckanus do against the Mangonels. Just don't take a big hit. They should be able to take on the Mangonels. All the Mangonels going down. That's such a great value out of those Chuckanus. And this aggression in this area is completely shut down unless Daniel's going to do some sort of ram play, which he can. I think it's viable. So now Spring, probably going to want to move these villagers, take some more of this gold in this area. Another castle, that's definitely too many castles in this area. So many castles from Spring. This is the 5th castle in a 45-minute game. I would like to see it right here on the hill. And Spring has just so much army now. Where's the army gone for Daniel? He stopped making army. Looks like he might be gearing up for the Imperial Age. He's never transitioned to Chuckanu. If he could slam his opponent right now with Chuckanu, sorry, with Huskarls, Huskarls would destroy the Chuckanu, I think. But we never saw a castle from Daniel. And why is that? Spring has locked down the stone. He's taken away this stone. I've got to think that Daniel's mined a stone out of this pile. Let's see, 350, 100... Yeah, he's minded a stone to place a castle somewhere. But maybe he's chosen to sell that stone for gold, because he's been out of gold as well. So just the map positioning from Spring has been excellent. And now we see Elite Skirmisher from the Goths. That should not happen. You should be going Huskarls. And that's really a shame if you can't go Huskarls as the Goths, when you have such a great situation as this one. Spring with his 6th castle of the game. Another great castle. Will take away whatever's left of that gold. Not much, actually. It'll destroy the town center. And Daniel's, I think, doing a mistake and going to the Imperial Age as the Goths. I don't usually like that play. Finally, he's going to get his castle up. He's got a great economy at 135. I don't know about this game. I mean, does Daniel have enough resources to afford something like Huskarls? Or Elite Huskarl? Because now Spring's going up. Now that Bracer and Chemistry is going to come on these Chuckanu and even Rocketry, he's going to need Elite Huskarl, not regular Huskarl. Let's see if Daniel can afford these upgrades and afford enough Huskarls. And what gold is he mining? He's not mining any gold. He's completely out of gold. There's no way he's going to win a Trebuchet battle. 6 castles versus 1. So he's not going to reclaim this gold anytime. Or that stone. I guess you have to rely on just hoping that this 850 gold and 4 relics might get you by. The Elite Huskarl upgrade's about 1,300 food, 700 gold, something around that. Someone's saying Daniel will win. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Spring's got a mega economy. 160 villagers. He can transition to knights. Oh, but look at this. This could be a great raiding avenue. Alright. Let's see who's gonna win. This is a very tense time in this game. Another castle for Spring. 7th castle. Let's see what upgrades Daniel can make. Can he make Elite Huskarl? Is he going to make Perfusion? There we go. Elite Huskarl done. No more food and gold. He has no more food and gold. The only gold he's getting is from the relics. And it looks like he might have enough Huskarls. He's going to take this. Spring needs to, right now, make a transition to Knights. To Cavalier. And I think he could end the game that way. But he's got so many castles. Has he made enough investment to maybe his food and wood economy to make a transition into Knights? Doesn't appear so. Spring gonna make the scale mail armor. Looks like he's already got Embracer and he's getting chemistry, so continuing to invest into Chuckanu, which is the wrong army right now. Few Huskarls are going to run in. There's no castles in the main economy of Spring, so this is completely exposed, completely defenseless. We have these barracks in the bottom. Momentum is shifting in this game. You could feel it. I think Daniels might have the upper hand. We have one trebuchet going against the Castle of Spring. How well are these Chuckanu going to do? They don't have rocketry. How well do they do against Huskarls? They can basically one-shot these Huskarls if they're all attacking the same Huskarl. They do okay, but the Huskarls, their attack bonus versus archers, they're going to kill so many Chuckanu, and now Spring has no more army. He can't continue to make Chuckanu because you need a mass of them. Desperately trying to get these palisade gates up so the Chuckanu can do their work. And Daniel, despite having almost no gold, might take this game. We have Longswordsman being transitioned to by Spring. It's a nice cheap transition because you're Chinese, your upgrades are discounted, and you get enough out quickly enough. He's got tons of barracks up. So he's going to try. A lot of gold income for Spring. There's not a spot on this map where these guys weren't building stuff. Yeah, that is true. Really great game. Really great game. You think Spring needs more villagers? Oh, you need a kappa next to that comment because Spring is at 130 villagers. He's just lost about 15. Two-headed swordsman coming in. That'll be pretty decent. And again, is there any... There's no gold being mined for Spring. Oh, sorry, for Daniel. And it looks like... Did he lose that trip? No. He took down that castle of Spring. Gonna try to take down this castle. He's gonna have to take down both to reclaim this stone and eventually sell it. Oh no, I think Spring's gonna win. Spring's got a big army. Oh, it's so close. Then again, Daniel can pull this back with some great raids. He's building barracks in the back of Spring's base. This is all exposed to raiding. But if you just look at the front, if you just look at the front lines, and you look at Spring's army and you go, how could you lose with this huge army? Spring. Is he going to win this? He's going to go for the trebuchet. There's a 100% chance he's going to get that trebuchet. And he's already working on the castle of Daniel. I don't think Daniel can afford a transition in his own. Not that he'd want to anyway. Champion upgrade coming. I think this has to be Spring's big game. Unless Daniel is going to do some mega raids. Look at this minimap. This minimap is absolutely crazy. There's red and blue everywhere. Late games, usually there's a line to be drawn. But not in this game. It's all mixed up. Champions now raiding the economy of Daniel. This has to be the game, right? I said that multiple times this game. Champions everywhere. Fully up, almost fully upgraded. Blast Furnace coming in now. And still Daniel with no gold. Has to be getting his gold from the relics. Back of the map. Huskarl's still doing a great amount of raiding. We have a few champions coming back for Spring. They're going to help to defend. Spring going down to 95 villagers. Looks like he's dying faster than Daniel's dying. Daniel is... I mean, he is losing a lot of villagers too. Who's going to be able to hold? Champions now into the farm eco of Daniel. Oh my god, the idle villagers are crazy. Daniel's got 40 more villagers, but he's also got like 15, 20 more idols. Champions coming back to defend. Will there be enough champions for Spring to defend? Will these villagers be able to get back to work? Now we even have the pikemen for Daniel. Looks like Spring's gonna clear this up. Is Daniel gonna be able to clear this up? Gonna bring some Huskarls back. I don't know if Huskarls are gonna be able to deal with these champions. They're very strong. I think champions... Oh, I think they get like +2 against Huskarls. I might be wrong on that, but either way, they're good against Huskarls. And if only Spring could destroy this monastery, that would even put him further ahead. How are the resources going? Only 2 villagers mining this gold. 3 villagers mining the stone. Still no relics for Spring. In the bottom, it looks like this raiding has been shut down. So many bodies littering these farms. And no more aggression from Daniel. Daniel's running out of steam. Now champions are going onto the farms of Daniel. There's GG. Daniel's going to call GG. What a great game. Almost Daniel had that game. The Huskarl switch was so strong. So strong against the Chuckanus. But Spring made the right transition. I said he should have gone Knights and Cavalier. This was probably a better option going into Champion. The Chinese economy early game, paying big dividends. And then later on, their discount on technologies enabling a quick transition to Champion. What a great play. And Daniel's raiding really helped him throughout the game. Those 4 relics certainly kept him in the game. But this game is so much about... Age of Empires 2 is so much about map control, about securing resources. I'm sure Daniel's push must have been slowed down by not having enough gold. And certainly was slowed down by not having enough stone in the mid-game. It took him forever to get that castle up and Huskarl production going. So great play from Spring. Great transition to champions. Great dealing with those raids, and then raiding with his own champions. What an excellent game. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Let's take a look at the achievements. Military stats. Better for Spring. It's always like that for a Goths game. Doesn't mean too much. Here's the big one, though. I think economy much better for Daniel. 15,000 more wood. It's another one. 5,000 more gold. Way more stone. 4,000 more stone. Just much better economy for Daniel this game. You need a good economy with the Goths to win. A lot of relic gold for Daniel. But still, more gold collected for Spring overall. Here's your timeline.